Hello and welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, November 15th, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. Monday, the residents of Norwood, along with the rest of the country, spent the day saying thank you and showing their appreciation to our nation's veterans. The town, under the direction of Ted Mulvihill, celebrated the veterans with a number of events.
We had Memorial Mass and Recognition Mass this morning at St. Catherine's, hosted by Father Donahoe, our pastor, and United States Navy veteran, Iraqi veteran. It was celebrated by Father Medeiros, who retired as an Army chaplain after 20 years as a full colonel. And then we had our parade step off at 10 o'clock. The ceremonies on the Common went off without a hitch. The selectmen were all very poignant in their remarks, and they get it. They understand what this day is about. It's about recognizing the men and women of our nation who have served our nation and continue to do so today. Memorial Day is more of a solemn occasion where we honor those who have passed, but Veterans Day is my favorite because we honor the men and women who serve, and they're among us today, so that we can approach them and shake their hands and say thank you. Thank you for your service. I know what you did, and I appreciate it. So it's a wonderful day here in Norwood. During the ceremonies on the Common, Selectman Alan Howard had a special presentation for one of the veterans in attendance.
February 13, 1970 was Friday the 13th. Tim's boat was on ambush patrol against the enemy when he was ambushed. 7 rocket-propelled grenades struck his boat. A shipmate, Thomas Cobb, was killed instantly, and Chief Flynn was seriously wounded by shrapnel, as were other crew members on board. Even suffering from many wounds, he immediately rendered first aid to his comrades and began fighting the fires on his damaged ship. When medical help arrived, he refused treatment in order for his shipmates to be seen first. When the medics left, he stayed with his boat and returned to base. For these heroic acts, he was given the Purple Heart Medal and the Bronze Star Medal with the Combat V for Valor device. I would ask Tim to please come forward if he would.
Lifelong resident, Mr. Flynn, was honored by the recognition and reflected on his love for his hometown and what Veterans Day means to him.
Love it, love it. I was born here, went away for 20 years in the military, and then came back. Yeah, went around the world once, met everybody twice. No need to do any more. I generally remember all my friends. You know, I remember as a child going to the parades and stuff. We used to get up on that roof right over there. It used to be the old Sears building. And like I say, mostly it's about my friends that I lost.
The St. Catherine's School also honored our nation's veterans with a breakfast ceremony held last week. Along with songs and readings from some of the students, Representative John Rogers and Senator Mike Rush were in attendance to give their remarks and give out citations to heroes, in which students gave the citation to their hero in the audience. It is a great opportunity for kids to learn the importance of Veterans Day and remember those who served. Thank you so much to all of our nation's veterans for serving our country. Stay tuned after this break to learn about some new equipment at the fire department.
Hi, Travis Farley with the Norwood Recreation Department to fill everybody in on our long-standing floor hockey program that starts the week after Thanksgiving. We're really excited about the program. Grades K through 1 are on Thursdays, grades 2 through 3 are on Wednesdays, grades 4 and 5 are on Mondays. Game times will vary based off of the number of teams. We hope you can join the Norwood Recreation Department at the Civic Center for this long-standing fun program. Players of all abilities are welcome, and it's only $45 to play.
Welcome back. The Norwood Fire Department has recently acquired a new vehicle and is currently testing some new equipment. Chief George Maurice, along with firefighters O'Malley and Chisholm, show us all the new things happening at the fire department.
Good morning, this is Chief George Maurice from Norwood Fire Department, and I just wanted to quickly show the people in Norwood what's going on and what's happening here at Norwood Fire as we try to improve and advance the department. So I'd like to introduce Norwood Fire Department spokesman Joe O'Malley, and he'll explain to you what's happening at Norwood Fire.
Morning, everybody. Like Chief said, my name is Joe O'Malley. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Norwood Fire Department. Today, I'm here to show you the new MARV unit, which stands for Medical Assist Response Vehicle. What we utilize that for at the fire department is like an intermediate level medical. A medical call that's not serious enough that it requires an engine or a ladder, but still requires the additional manpower, such as a chest pain, a trouble breathing, a seizure. And what this enables us to do is a firefighter comes off of the engine company and off of the ladder company, and they're able to staff this and respond with the ALS ambulance on those medicals. The benefit to that is it's a 2019 Chevy Tahoe. Previously, what we would use for these squad company calls were our brush trucks, and that led to a quicker deterioration of the vehicle and need for replacement. Whereas now we have a truck that doesn't have a pump, isn't going to have the same wear and tear, chasing the ambulance on all these medical calls. So we're expected to have a new brush truck coming in the coming months, as well as a new engine within the next 6 months or so. And this vehicle is going to enable us to put some of that wear and tear onto a vehicle that doesn't have as many moving components, such as a brush truck or a fire engine. Another piece of equipment that we are demoing here at Norwood Fire is the Lucas device, and here to talk more about that is Firefighter Chisholm.
How you doing? I'm Mike Chisholm. This is Mike Downing. We're EMS coordinators down here at the Norwood Fire Department, and we wanted to show everyone the new Lucas 3 machine, which we're using through a trial program through Stryker. So what this does, this allows us to perform compressions on a patient without it being interrupted. And when I say that, anyone that's ever had to do compressions, unfortunately, or seen it, you notice sometimes there's a lot of stopping and going. If you have to move a patient, you have to carry them out of the house, you end up stopping. And in the long run, that actually has a lot of bad deficits for that patient and could actually lead to a negative outcome. By having the Lucas machine, it allows us to have this on the patient and operate while we get them out, and it continues, it doesn't get tired, and it runs throughout the entire cardiac arrest, which has been proven to show significant outcomes with people actually gaining their pulses back. Already, a group on Norwood Fire has used it and successfully resuscitated someone. So we've only had it 2 weeks now, and it's already paying off. Like I said, we're using this as a trial program through Lucas, and I'd like to just show you how great technology this is, and hopefully that Norwood will have more of these in the future. So as you see, the patient's set up on this. Someone in cardiac arrest, we show up. There's firefighters, there's paramedics. We all come inside. We'll put the patient on this, turns it on. I hit a button, I move it down to their chest, and I hit start. And then it operates on its own. While doing this, this allows the paramedics to intubate the patient, push medications, do other things, make a way for us to get out of the building smoothly, all while compressions are not interrupted. And as I stated before, that has a huge, significant outcome for patients.
Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your local government.
Stop by the Norwood Morrill Memorial Library and check out magazines, newspapers, DVDs, and of course, books. The library also offers a variety of services, including passport renewal, a notary, and tutoring, with multiple different meeting rooms which can be booked for your convenience. Take advantage of online digital resources and get assistance with all of your research needs. Kids can enjoy the children's room stocked with books and toys. There are also a variety of programs for children and adults. And if you can't make it into the library can come to you with home delivery. The library is open Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., and on Fridays from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. To learn more, go to www.norwoodlibrary.org.
Welcome back to Norwood News. A show cause hearing for the Shamrock Pub was the center of the Selectmen's meeting Tuesday night. Detective Brendan Green reads the report.
All right, so on September 21st of 2019, Norwood Police, including Officer Coffey, were dispatched to the Shamrock Pub located on Railroad Ave for a report of a fight in progress. Officers arrived, noticed and located James Braccia, who was laying on the ground with apparent facial injuries. Officers were able to detect a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage emanating from Braccia's person, as well as him having red, glassy eyes, and that he was slurring his words while interacting with officers. Braccia would later be transported to Norwood Hospital for treatment. Officers on scene had stated that Braccia was intoxicated due to alcohol consumption in their opinion. Officers stayed on scene and spoke with multiple witnesses, and it was determined that Braccia was working as the bartender at the Shamrock Pub that night. He had gotten into a physical altercation with one of the customers. During the altercation, Braccia had brandished a hammer towards that customer and as well as another customer. Braccia would later on be arrested for 2 counts of assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, assault and battery, and disorderly conduct as well. While on scene, officers spoke with witnesses at the establishment who stated Braccia had been drinking behind the bar while serving other customers. They had also stated that he appeared to be very intoxicated. Officers had examined behind the bar and saw multiple open alcohol containers.
Selectman Hajar was especially disturbed by the behavior that had taken place at the bar.
If a patron was drinking for 4 to 4.5 hours, we would be disturbed. But the people serving it to other people cannot make a determination if a customer themselves are intoxicated because they themselves are intoxicated. I just don't understand how we got to where we are, but I'm not really not happy about the situation. Thank you, officers, for reporting what you did. I hear you, Michelle, but this is not good. Thank you.
And here's another point, too, and you just said it yourself. These regulations will change in the very near future. But at this point in time, at the time this actual situation occurred, there was nothing in our rules and regulations that stipulate anything about bartenders drinking behind the bar, whether it's 1 or 10 drinks. And I think counsel has somewhat stipulated the fact, to his knowledge, his legal profession knowledge, there is nothing that he knows of that covers this.
While the board doesn't condone the behavior that took place, the only action that could be taken was to recommend a written warning to be issued to the Shamrock. Also that evening, the Board of Selectmen appointed Amy Finkston to the Norwood Cultural Council, filling the open seat for a complete council of 9 members. Mark Ryan also appeared before the board to submit his monthly report. The Selectmen will meet again Tuesday, November 19th. Also Tuesday night, the Trails Advisory Committee met and continued to discuss the current trails here in Norwood. The committee reviewed the most recently completed walk between the Willett and Father Max. The purpose of the walk was to update the trail mapping. The committee is planning to have 2 more walks on November 16th at Ellis Pond and at the pumping station area. The Trails Advisory Committee will meet again on November 26th. The last meeting Tuesday night was the Library Board of Trustees. The meeting began with the approval of the consent agenda and a review of old business. During old business, the board discussed the noise in the library, a new microfilm device, and the grandfather clock repair. The board then reviewed the FY19 and 20 statistical reports and discussed their new business. The next meeting of the Library Board of Trustees will be December 10th. The Community Preservation Committee met in Town Hall Wednesday night. The meeting began with minute approvals from previous meetings, and speakers such as Travis Farley from the Rec Department and committee member Joe Greeley spoke on some ongoing projects such as the Bond Street Playground and the Chapel Project. The CPC Treasurer also discussed the financial plan with the committee. The next meeting for the CPC will be December 11th. The Finance Commission met on Thursday for a little over an hour. Chairwoman Ann Haley reviewed the presentation given the week prior on financial trend monitoring and went over some key points in the presentation. Committee member Kelly Newmy selected certain elements to monitor based on the information given from the previous presentation, such as net property tax collected and pension and OPEB liability. Newmy notes the value of having such a system that allows the general public to be as informed as possible.
I think the goal is to ultimately have a dashboard that can easily be presented with a slide for each of these indicators, with a snapshot that any layperson could look at and say, hey, I see this is favorable or unfavorable, and you can get a really good indication from that so that anybody, regardless of whether or not you have a finance industry background or not, would be able to ascertain what the condition of our town is from a financial perspective.
The next Finance Commission meeting will take place in the coming weeks. For complete government coverage, tune into the NCM Government Channel or watch it on demand at norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Stay tuned after this break to find out what is happening in your schools.
Norwood. Here, we are chosen at birth. Our loyalties are predetermined. And our families, defined. Raised by the stories of those that came before us.
Here's a breakaway. Hold on, he's in, back and score!
Fearlessly driven by the hope of what's to come. It chooses us. It defines us. And for us, it's everything. This is Norwood. And here, sports are in our blood.
Norwood Mustangs 2015 are the state Division I champs.
Welcome back. Now we're going to toss it over to Norwood Schools reporter to recap everything that's happened this week in the Norwood Public School District.
Hi guys, I'm Audrey Scafati, and let's take a look at some activities happening in our Norwood schools this week. Norwood High School held their second annual Career Week, and workshops were held every day. On Tuesday, representatives from Moderna came and spoke about their company and their personal career journeys. Moderna is located in Norwood and is creating a new category of medicines using messenger RNA to improve the lives of patients. Their website states that every cell in the body uses mRNA to provide instructions to make the proteins necessary to drive all aspects of biology, including in human health and disease. The potential implications of using mRNA as a drug could improve how medicines are discovered, developed, and manufactured. It is exciting to know that this is happening right here in Norwood, and that the company and the high school are planning field trips and job shadow experiences. This is the start of a great partnership. The Coakley Middle School celebrated National Kindness Day with Positive Sign Thursday. Dr. Frasick says her students are kind and not afraid to show it. The staff wore cardigans in spirit of Mr. Rogers to celebrate the day and spread some kindness with others. Looks like Mr. Downs in the middle school wins this year's best cardigan. In CMS Science News, the students spent some time building DNA models from a variety of materials. They explained all the parts and what DNA is and does. Maybe they will get jobs in Moderna here in Norwood. Nice job, CMS. It was a beautiful day in the neighborhood at Little Mustangs Preschool. On Wednesday, the children and staff also celebrated World Kindness Day in conjunction with Mr. Rogers' Cardigan Day. The students and teachers talked about ways we can color our world with kindness. The students wore their favorite color from the rainbow and created their own rainbow of human kindness. The children enjoyed playing games about helping others, sang a song about ways to spread kindness, learned how to say kindness in sign language from Miss Michelle. The students also created art projects about what they can do to be kind and also made thankful wreaths to share with their families and friends. The students all showed how they could be the I in kind by representing the letter I in the wall hung in their school. They were spreading kindness like confetti at Little Mustangs Preschool this week. At the Callahan School, Chartwells and the Norwood Food Services Discovery Kitchen took part in Let's Get Cooking Month. The goal was to show how you can make something tasty and nutritious using a variety of ingredients. This green monster smoothie included kale, strawberries, blueberries, bananas, and yogurt. The students in Mrs. Breen and Ms. Ryan's 4th grade classes, along with Mr. Conti, learned the fun facts about each of the ingredients and shared some of their favorite smoothie recipes as well. At the Cleveland School, the Boston-based a cappella group Ball in the House performed at the Cleveland last week, bringing R&B, soul, and pop. Students also learned about using their voices as an instrument and how to beatbox. The Student Council recently collected toiletry items for veterans in honor of Veterans Day. Thank you, Cleveland School. It was all about books at the Willett Early Childhood Center this week. On Thursday, November 14th, kindergarten students were able to meet author Sherry Serino and hear her read from her storybook, Ella and the All-Stars. The students learned that friendship can be found in just about anyone. Thank you to our PTO Enrichment Coordinator, Mandy Hampton, for organizing the visit. The PTO generously purchased a copy of the book for each classroom. And speaking of the PTO and books, the Scholastic Book Fair is in full swing. This year's theme promises that reading will be so much fun. And finally, Mrs. Reynolds' class worked on a Veterans Day art project and created custom thank you cards. Fall is in full swing at Extended Day as classrooms kindergarten through 5th grade welcome seasonal activities. It's a whirlwind of turkeys, candy apples, scarecrows, and colorful leaves. Extended Day is also participating in a few Veterans Day activities, creating cards for Operation Gratitude, an organization that sends notes of encouragement and material goods to veterans and active military members living overseas. Extended Day received a warm thanks from the Norwood Food Pantry for their coin drive donation. Through October, students and families donated a total of $150 in quarters, nickels, dimes, and dollars. $50 went towards dozens of non-perishable goods, and $100 was given in cash to the pantry for the hundreds of families in need this season. And finally, in Prescott news, Dr. Thompson, Principal Brian Riley, and Carol Thornton are currently in Washington, D.C. to attend the National Blue Ribbon Conference and to receive their national award. We will be reporting on this next week. Congratulations again to the Prescott School. Well, that's it for school news. For more information about the Norwood school system, please check the website, Facebook, and watch NCM. Now we're going to send it over to Brian Dunn for your Norwood Sports Update.
First, we just want to congratulate you on this amazing accomplishment. Obviously, Norwood High School administration, athletic office, guidance office, your club coach, and all your friends and parents wish you the best of luck at Assumption. Go for it. This is it. Nice. Congratulations. Just got a lot of papers to sign. Nice work. Nice. Good job. Congrats.
What you just saw was Teddy Willett signing his National Letter of Intent, or NLI, to play men's lacrosse at Assumption College starting next year.
It's just I'm so excited. Such a relief, you know. Like I'm good to go. I mean, I'm so happy. I have such a great group of friends and coaches and family that are here to support me, and I couldn't ask for anything more.
So Teddy started playing for us, I think, either his 8th grade year or his freshman year. Came through tryout, we loved him there, and he became part of our club. And the past 4 or 5 years working with him has just been awesome. He's worked really hard to get to here today, and had interest in a lot of schools, a lot of schools were interested in him, and we really worked hard through the process. He really drove it himself and worked really hard through the process to kind of help him figure out where he wanted to go and what the fit for him was going to be.
And the faculty got in sports action this week with the faculty versus senior volleyball game. It's always great for the faculty to get outside their classrooms and interact with the kids in an environment of this setting, and a great time was had by all. And to wrap up sports this week, Norwood will be at Milford Friday, November 15th, and I'll let Kristen tell you about a very special Thanksgiving football announcement. Kristen, take it away.
Thanks, Brian. Congrats, Teddy. We are all so excited for you. This past Sunday, the Concerts in the Chapel had their second concert in the newly renovated chapel at the Highland Cemetery. The town of Norwood had Omni-style guitarist Steve Marchena perform for the residents of Norwood. The chapel was full and everyone in attendance enjoyed the music. Wednesday night, the Sustainability Series continued at the Morrill Memorial Library. Susan Clear of Together Yes explains this month's talk.
We've run the Sustainability Series here at the library for about 8 years now. This year, Progress Norwood is collaborating with us, and we all agreed that we would like to address Thanksgiving because this fall semester of presentations has dealt with cultural issues. And we thought looking into the culture of the American Thanksgiving would be interesting and educational. So we've provided a little of the history. We then went further and discussed how harvest is celebrated in other parts of the world, and even here in the United States, how it's celebrated differently by different groups of people depending on their cultural background or their region in the United States. And we even had some fun talking about varieties of Jell-O salads served at Thanksgiving dinner all over the United States.
Just a reminder to residents that Thanksgiving is right around the corner and there are many upcoming events happening around town. On Sunday, November 24th, the Norwood High School Athletic Boosters is hosting the 33rd running of the Norwood Turkey Trot. Those interested in running can sign up at www.runsignup.com and search for Norwood Turkey Trot. If you're not interested in running all 4 miles, like myself, you can sign up as a 4-person relay team. Then, on Thanksgiving Day, the football team will travel to Dedham for the annual Norwood vs. Dedham Thanksgiving game. Tune into the NCM Community Channel for live coverage of the game. And finally, mark your calendars for November 30th because it will be a very busy day here in Norwood. The Rec Department will be hosting its annual holiday extravaganza, so head to the center of town for plenty of holiday family fun. At the high school, the NHS Athletic Hall of Fame Class of 2019 induction ceremony will be taking place. Norwood Community Media will be covering this event, so tune in to celebrate some amazing Norwood High School players and coaches. And we encourage everyone in town to shop local and support Small Business Saturday. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.